What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 81 of Park to Prem here with Nottingham Forest. Today we are going to be taking on Manchester United in the Premier League. We've been busy in the transfer market, and well, there's something different. Can you spot it? I'll give you a second. We've got an extra star. We've got an extra star, everyone. And not only that, we've got brand spanking new kits, courtesy of Whitey, a member of my Discord server, which if you're not part of the Discord community and you want somewhere to chat about FM, you want to, ask me any questions, you want to get alerted to when new videos are going live, or you just want to pop in a request for maybe Whitey or another member of the community to make some graphics for you, check it out. It's a link down in the description. Discord is free to use. It's a free program. You can even just use it in browser if you would rather, and it's a nice way to link up with other Football Manager fans. Anyway, today we're taking on United, who are 2 points ahead of us. We desperately need to win this game. Failure to do so is, going to be problematic, shall we say. They will pull 5 points clear of us, and that is not really a situation I want to be in. Anyway, since you were last here, I've jumped into the transfer market. I've started to do some transfers, everyone. I know, round of applause, please. And there's one that stands out maybe more than the others because I've made the decision to sign Haaland. He's not very quick anymore, and this is the thumbnail signing. So today's video is probably called OMG, I signed Haaland. There might be me pulling a really shocked face, over dramatic in the thumbnail. But no, we've managed to sign Haaland. He's a new face to put on thumbnails since Kylian Mbappe retired just last year. No, my look, Haaland will go on to retire at the end of this year, and we'll need to make another thumbnail signing next year, which is a bit concerning because, as you can see, Haaland is 35. We're getting to a point where there's not many real footballers left, so hopefully that's not going to be too much of a concern. Besides that, we have made a couple of transfer dealings. One I'm going to leave to the end, but let's talk about a couple of youngsters first. The first we have is Batista, who has joined us from Santos. He is an 18-year-old Brazilian attacking player. And I say that in a kind of nondescript way because he can kind of just play anywhere he wants, anywhere across the front three attacking mid positions. He is naturally a striker, and to be honest, he does look like a really good little player, so very, very happy to have him joining us. And another player who I was delighted to get signed for absolute peanuts is Barreto here. You can see he's had a pretty good start to his year in Argentina, a 7.65 average rating in 2 games. We've signed him for £3.6 million, 20 determination, amazing passing, technique, work rate. I mean, there's loads of 16s here for a player who has literally turned 18 just last month. I really, really like the look of this guy. Perhaps needs to work on his composure off the ball and potentially dribbling a little bit, but he has the makings of a little superstar. Very, very keen to see how he might develop under, our kind of youth structure that we have in place. Lots of players have come through it. Lots of players have developed. Maybe he will be one to add to the list. Anyway, the next signing we've made for £87 million. I asked you guys, what did I need? And I kind of went with what I need in terms of not position, but what I actually need, which is a blooming penalty taker. And I've gone and signed Sergei Tarasov, a player who you may remember me drawing attention to before. We've snatched him away from the clutches of Man City, a player who, to be frank, has never really had a really amazing season, the kind of season you might expect from a player who is this good. He's phenomenal. He's 27 years old. We've snapped him up for not the most stupid amount of money. I feel like £87 million for a player in his prime isn't too shabby at all. He's great in the air, but the big thing really, 16 penalty taking, 16 finishing, and 20 composure. I feel like no matter what the circumstances are, he is a man we should, hopefully, maybe be able to trust to take a penalty. And while you might think, where's he going to slot in? Because I don't really need more strikers, and you'd be absolutely right to think that. I think he's going to be taking David Lynn's spot in the team. He is going to be playing as a deep-lying playmaker for us. And whilst that doesn't make use of all of his physicals, given the fact he's lacking a little bit of pace, I feel like this is just an immense role for him. I mean, you look at it all, the two lowest attributes are passing and work rate, both at 14, but the number of mentals that are super, super high, the 18 at first touch, the 17 technique, the 16 balance as well. I think this is where this man was born to play. He was not meant to play out on the wings. He was not meant to play as a striker. I'm quite keen to see what he can do for us. And, well, actually, I was going to play him as a deep line playmaker, but I've just remembered that's not where we're playing him. We're actually playing him as an advanced playmaker in our team. A little bit of a tactical shift. When he's in the team, we're going to switch the deep line playmaker to an advanced playmaker. And I think that does just suit him a little bit better. As I mentioned, Lind, the player making way. And I think with the exception of Piotr, who I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to bring myself to replace, this team is getting towards the point where it's kind of as good as it's ever going to get. I don't think I can improve it much more than this. Tarasov, absolutely world-class centre mid, also really good in the air, so a bit of an aerial threat should we need one of those, although we're not exactly lacking in that department. As I said, not a small amount of money paid, but ultimately he is a little superstar. Very, very excited and keen to see how he gets on. Anyway, in terms of players going out, I think there's a couple more who have left us. Am I not mistaken? I'm not mistaken at all. You can see here Dom Harrison has left us to go to West Brom. I feel like to get £8 million for a player we got for, well, a few $100K from Manchester United is a pretty good dealing. I will say, so far, 7 conceded in 5 games in the Championship for freshly relegated from the Premier League West Brom. Perhaps not guiding them towards the immediate promotion back to the big time that they were desperately looking for. A couple of other players have gone out on loan, but nothing really of massive note. And, well, besides that kind of one signing really of Tarasov, and of course Haaland joining the first team remains largely unchanged. It's unlikely Haaland's going to play too much for us. You can see to start the season, I've already been rotating the team pretty heavily. Unfortunately, I've not really been able to find a regular spot in the first team for Bill Summers. I still do see him very much as a big part of our future. I had him loan listed. No one's come in for him. Obviously, the transfer window is closed now, although attempts were made before that did close. So for now, he's going to chill out. I would like to give him some minutes here and there, but I think against Manchester United today probably isn't the right time or place to be doing that. Anyway, in terms of team news for today's game, well, actually, no, we can't talk about this. I've got carried away. Tarasov's got me excited. We need to talk about the matches since you were last here, because we've had some good ones, including, notably, an away win against Chelsea in a game where Umar Sane got a back post header to get Chelsea off to an absolute flyer. How can I forget this game? This was a quality one. We were 1-0 down. There wasn't too long left. We threw on Devio, and he went and grabbed 2 off the bench. I wasn't overly happy with his start to the season, so I dropped him for Poyana, hoping that would be a wake-up call. And it was that and a little bit more. He scored a lovely, lovely brace, playing out on that left-hand side, ghosting inside, cutting inside onto his right foot. Of course, not the paciest player in the world, but his technique and mentals are absolutely phenomenal. And they were on full display as he turned it around, made it 2-1, and, well, then we earned a penalty. And he missed it. Shall we watch the missed penalty? Here you go, Devio for the hat-trick. Yeah, he bottled it with literally the last kick of the game. It was a bit saddening, but you live and you learn. We won't give him that opportunity ever again. Anyway, against Swansea, we beat them 4-2. A little bit of variety in the goal scorers. Twardzik with one. Adebayo with one as well as Benavides. And Tarasov, he got his first ever goal for the club. Normally with the highlights, I kind of record them ahead of schedule because I know what games I'm going to mention. I want to show you the Tarasov goal. He scored in one of his first ever appearances for the club. Talked about his kind of return as a striker for Man City being disappointing. Maybe this is a glimpse into the future, everyone. I want to believe it's going to be on his left peg, hits it into the bottom corner. It wasn't the craziest of long shots, as you're about to see, but nevertheless, it was a good one. Against Watford, we drew 0-0. Their goalkeeper got the best rating I think I've seen for a goalkeeper this year in Football Manager. He got a 9.6. We had an XG of 3.61. Didn't score a goal. I'm not bitter, honest. Anyway, I was slightly less bitter, actually, after an international break where against Sheffield United, we scored some of the best goals I've seen in Football Manager all year. Poyana with the first. A crazy solo effort. A solo effort where the highlight begins with him having the ball. He ran across the pitch. He ran round the right-hand side. Tucked it superbly into the bottom corner as well. Hit with real power. But not quite as much power as the second goal in this game. Twardzik, he'd already scored a fairly nice goal a couple of games prior. But it's not what we've really know him for, the defensive midfielder. How about this? Bang. Top corner. Take a bow, my son. And well, going into the second half, we were in cruise control. We were dominating the match relatively comfortably. And, well, Adebayo scored a nice little dinked finish into that bottom left corner. The defender chasing back, couldn't get there. Good performance, great team performance by the rotated team. Hamada with a clean sheet, which is something we do love to see. Anyway, in the Champions League, we have played one game so far. It was against Ghent. As you can see here, we won it 4-1. We are in a group with Zenit, Ghent and Bayern. This should be as straightforward as it gets. Bayern, yeah, we're familiar with them. They're not a bad team by any means. They could prove a little bit challenging, but ultimately this is a group where the top two are rather stand out. And with that in mind, I do find it a little unlikely we need to focus ourselves in terms of episodes too much on the Champions League, at least right now. But yeah, 4-1 win here. Poyana with 2, Edison and Ballo with goals there. Against Wolves, we won 2-0. Erk and Gonzalez scoring from the penalty spot. It was actually after this game that I was like, hang on a minute, Tarasov needs to actually be on penalties. So I have rectified that now. And well, then we took on Oldham midweek, played a rotated team. Did that mean we were going to be nice? No. Adebayo didn't get the message. He got a hat-trick inside 11 minutes. 15 minutes into the game, over an 11-minute period, he scored 4. And to be fair, we were quite nice from there onwards. And we let them win the second half 1-0, but the damage, it was kind of done. It was a little too late. Adebayo ended up on a 10.0. What a phenomenal player. Developing really well, scoring goals for fun. 2 in the Premier League, and well, 4 in this single game here. Oldham, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean it. Could have been anyone, but it had to be you. Anyway, looking at the team for today's game, as I was about to say about 5 minutes ago, this is how we look. Tarasov making his live commentary debut against the Manchester United team, who are very, very good. Elsewhere in the team, Sampaio is out injured, so as a result, Mushahit, or Okan as I've just been calling him affectionately, is going to slot in at right back for us. I feel like he's a really, really underrated right back. Am I kidding myself here? I feel like it's difficult to get good right backs, and he kind of just ticks all the boxes. Either way, he's going to slot into that gap in the team. The rest of the team is full strength. Erk, still improving a little bit. At least that's what I'm trying to tell myself. I mean, what a talent Erk is. One of the best players in world football. I know we kind of joke about him not enjoying big games. He's been a bit slow, to be fair, to start this year. But it's easy to lose sight of how ridiculously good he is. He's the kind of player, because he's grown up at the club, it kind of takes me to go away and look at other people's football manager saves or other people, just other real players and how good they are, to look at this man and kind of sit there and go, wow, he is actually blooming good, isn't he? Yeah, he's been absolutely phenomenal. Not quite matching that 7.42 rating last year. Of course, a year where he broke his leg. Not that I want him to break his leg right now, but maybe that would help him in a slightly bizarre way. No, don't break your leg today. If that now happens, it's entirely on me, and I'm really sorry. Anyway, the rest of the team is the team that you know and love. Gonzalez has been a little hit and miss as of late, as has Devayo, but I feel like in this game here, we have to put some faith in them. We're taking on Manchester United. You can see here, they are the team predicted to be 3rd in the league, and well, just in looking at their team, of course, they've got Jean, who is their star Frenchman, usually playing out on the left wing, although occasionally plays centre mid. They've got Bruno Alves, who I feel like is a bit like the Bruno Fernandes regen, so to say. I mean, he is absolutely nutty. And also, their star man, you'll be disappointed to hear, Chris Cuolo is out injured. How long's he out for? He's out for 2 to 4 weeks. Their star record signing man, I don't know if he was a record transfer, but their big signing of the summer's out, as is Gorello, their other striker. So we're taking on a weakened United team here. I say we, it's still very good. But I feel like at home, we should be expecting ourselves to go out and get a result here. I realise I've accidentally taken the assistant's advice there. So let's revert that and just reinstate the 11 that I want to play. It's not too big of a job. Okan coming back into the team, as I mentioned, and Tarasov in there, advanced playmaker. The former Man City man, he knows Manchester United relatively well. Of course, as we discussed just last episode, United are now considered one of our rivals on the club overview screen. I feel like we constantly butt heads against them. Certainly for the last half a decade, they have been the thorn in our side. Although I say that, I feel like more frequently we've been the thorn in their side. I feel like we've been the one inflicting some misery and inflicting some pain. Hopefully we're going to continue to do that today as Erk whips it in. Unfortunately, Piotr's header goes over the crossbar. They are playing a 4-2-3-1. Interesting to note, Alves, the really kind of creative midfielder that we were looking at, he's playing up top for them today. Not necessarily the go-to striker in their team, but we have to be wary. He's a quality player. Devayo, oh my word, that is a defence splitting pass to Gonzalez, who needs to hit the target. And instead he puts it wide of the mark. Early on though, 15 minutes gone. We're having a lot more of the ball. We've had more shots. They're yet to have a shot, but no shot on target just yet. I feel like I'm going to click on Tarasov. Let's keep a name on top of his head. You've got to finish this. Largo, great ball through. Gudbranson, of course, the Danish goalkeeper. Perhaps the other superstar in this United team I failed to acknowledge before kick-off. He's blooming good. We're going to have to be at our best to beat him today. And, well, not for the first time. We see a header go over the crossbar off Piotr's head. United yet to have a shot on goal, though. So we're containing them well, but we need to find our own breakthrough. It's here. Falls to DeVio. That was very fortunate. Now with Tarasov, lays it back to DeVio. Can he finish it? His effort's blocked. It's still not fully away. Tarasov, DeVio, Tarasov, Navio. I don't know why Navio's there. He's had an effort. It's tipped away. That was a golden opportunity. I'm not sure Navio was the man I want it to fall to. And then just gives away a silly foul. He's not happy, is He's nipping at the heels like a little Jack Russell Terrier of the United defenders. Oh my word. Piotr, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Piotr. I didn't mean to go for him. For all the missed efforts. I forgive you. He's headed 2 over. Third time lucky. He finds the back of the net. And the man from Poland, a nation that incidentally I will be supporting at the Euros this year, and this is totally off topic. I'm doing a Euro 2020 sticker book, everyone. You know, the Panini one. If you're not in I've discovered recently Americans don't have sticker books. In Europe, it's kind of a thing where during events you get like an album. Imagine like an encyclopedia kind of thing with all the information about all the teams, and there's gaps for you to stick in like the entire squad. We have that in Europe. It's normal. I think America just has playing cards. Either way, I always make a rule that the first nation I finish is the nation I will support at the Euros. You know, alongside England. It's how I get my second team. Well, Poland and North Macedonia, I'm rooting for both of you because I finished you both at the same time. So, I mean, I'm doing it for Piotr. I feel like they might need him. That Lewandowski guy, he's okay. Piotr's better. Also, Danny Dyer did just make a great save. I'm sorry, Danny. I'm not giving you any credit. I'm too busy talking about stickers. He's held on to it again. We're loving it. We're loving it. Okay, 10 minutes left of the half. 2 late kind of chances there for United leaves me a little wary, but well, Okan, he's going to launch it forward to inside to De Volder. And that's the advantage of having a long throw specialist. Of course, long throws did get hit pretty hard in the recent match engine kind of patch, but my understanding, I think Okan has pretty good long throws. Certainly, if a player doesn't have good long throws, they can't throw it that far. I didn't realise prior to the update, any player could throw that throw. You do actually now have to have some throwing ability to be able to do that. Anyway, ball's whipped in. We're causing havoc in the air and just from set pieces. This corner's not going to be dealt away with. De Volder now with it to Piccione. Piotr, Piccione. This passing is scintillating. Largo, Gonzalez. Oh, if he finds the target there, it's one of the best goals of the Premier League season. The passing was superb. The movement was even better. Unfortunately, the finish. Disappointing. 2-0 at the break. Shall we have a look at... I'm curious now to check on Okan's long throws. Because, yeah, wait, did I not get a team talk there? Did I miss something? Did I just skip half-time by accident, or am I going crazy? I feel like it didn't pop up like it's meant to. But yeah, you can see here, Okan has 14 long throws. In the latest FM update, they hit long throws pretty hard if you don't actually have long throws, which I think we can all agree is a very good change for the game. It used to be that any player was Rory Delap, whereas now it's not as possible. As you'll see here with Navio, who just doesn't get it into the box. He's not as good as Okan. Anyway, Piccione to Navio. Gonzalez now with it. Options queuing up. He keeps it in. That was a little unconvincing, as was the pass back to DeVio. It was wayward. Ball not dealt with though, and Largo sneaks in at the near post. Oh, it's a sneaky Largo. He arrives like a ninja. Not sure about that pass by Gonzalez. We're not going to read too far into it. It resulted in a good goal in the end. Largo making a run from deep. Gudbranson comes out for it, and well, the Great Dane has been humiliated by a little Argentine midfielder. And it's 3-0 all of a sudden. And we probably deserve it. Okan wants another long throw. Where's he going this time? He's thrown it too far there. Tarasov, though, does still have it. Not really had a live con where we've had lots to point at and shout out about his contribution, Tarasov, but he's been there, laying off some nice passes. I feel like with an hour gone here, I want to make changes. And Gonzalez, you've had chances and wasted them. So let's bring in Edison. And also, I'm going to bring in Ballo. And I'm going to bring in Ballo to play Mazzala. Remember this guy? German winger. Well, guess what? He's now natural at centre mid. I did see a few people mentioning the fact he could be a pretty good wing back. And whilst I don't disagree, I just feel like 10 tackling and 9 marking isn't good enough defensively for my liking. And I feel like with his vision and his creativity, like 16 passing, 15 vision, be a bit wasted at wing back. But there's no denying he could play there. Maybe his work rate a little low for my liking. But no, we've been training him to play centre mid as a Mazzala. And actually, as a Mazzala on attack, he is tasty. He's done pretty well there as well to start the season. Hopefully, coming on off the bench here, he can have his say on the game. I mean, there's not too much pressure on a player coming on in this kind of match, I feel like. 3-0 up at home. United, yes, they have quality. Yes, they could score a goal, but I don't see them getting free, even with all their quality in the last 5 minutes that we have here. And I feel like we'll make one more token sub. Let's take off Largo and bring on Lind. Just because I feel bad for David Lind being dropped for the first team. I feel like I have to give him token appearances to make him feel better. Anyway, Devire bringing it forward. Could we get another one? It's a 3-on-2 at the back. It's dinked over to Urk, who has a lot of space in front of him. Edison inside. Urk tries to go on his own, and, well, Goodbranson in the end tips it over the bar. Corner whipped into the back post. Devire never going to get there. Jean gets it away, and I think that is going to be all she wrote. A great little performance, which, if I'm not mistaken, is going to see us return to the summit of the Premier League. Indeed it does. We leapfrog United. Their unbeaten run is over. Man City, the only other team unbeaten, of course, a team who we've just kind of stripped one of their prize assets away from them in Tarasov. A good performance, though. Urk putting on a show for Barcelona. Barcelona, you're not allowed to steal our Urk show. It's not on. It's not possible. 112 million, triple it, and I'll still say no. He's too good to sell at this point, I feel like, especially because he's homegrown at club and he has been here for such a long time. Anyway, looking forward, you can see here, we do have Bayern in kind of our next game, but as I mentioned, I feel like the Champions League group stage is going to be a relatively straightforward affair. Arsenal are down in 12th, Everton down in 16th. Teams you might think would be higher up the league just aren't really, to be frank. So looking forward, you can see we've actually got a relatively simple run of games before the likes of Tottenham, Man City and Liverpool, all towards the end of December. With that in mind, I think we'll come back for a game sometime in November, maybe do a little bit of an update on the squad, players breaking into the first team, players who have stood out to me. I'd be interested to know what you make of our transfer business. I'm sure we'll play Haaland at some point. I just don't know when that point's going to be. He got 2 in 19 last year, so I'm not expecting a great deal from him, if I'm being honest. Anyway, folks, that's going to be all from me today. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys again soon. I think tomorrow we're going to have a Win One, Take One episode, so it'll probably be Saturday that we are back. I hope to see you guys for that then. And well, other than that, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.